Well, Gaellen Quinn wrote the book, The Last Aloha, and the reason for that is because it's the 50th anniversary of Hawaii's statehood, and many people may not really know much about this beautiful state that is part of our country. Well, we have Ms. Quinn with us this morning to talk about her book. Good morning.
Thank
you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So, The Last Aloha, I was telling you that I love historical novels, and this one really encapsulates all of the history of Hawaii as well. Tell us a little bit about your book.
Yeah, it's set in 19th century Hawaii during the time of the overthrow of the monarchy by American missionary descendants. And we were just talking before we came on, you know, James Michener wrote the book Hawaii in 1959 when Hawaii became a state, but he left this period out entirely.
It's interesting.
And from my research, I believe it's because he didn't know about it. It was suppressed history for almost 100 years, so it's a part of American history that most people don't know.
And it's a novel, so obviously you've got some sagas in there, you've got interesting characters, but at the same time, a lot of this is based on, this is fact.
It's very accurate. In fact, the Hawaiians who have read it, who are historians, have complimented me on how accurate it is, you know. But you know, history was us then.
Right.
And I saw something on Salon.com that Michelle Obama said, you know, our president is from Hawaii, and she said, if you want to understand Barack, you have to understand Hawaii. And so this is another way that people can learn more about it.
Very timely for your book to come out. And so it's the 50th anniversary of the statehood. I'm excited to read this. This just looks fantastic. Yeah. Tell us, what made you want to focus on Hawaii?
Yes, my brother married a Hawaiian woman some years ago. I had been going to Hawaii for years, and I knew there was the only royal palace on American soil, and King Street and Queen Street, but I never put two and two together until I met this woman, and her ancestors come from the navigators that sailed up from southern Polynesia 1,000 years ago. All her ancestors have star names. And in her family, there's still a stone icon that sat at the front of one of those sailing canoes 1,000 years ago. So she started telling me all this history I'd never heard. And all the time I went to Hawaii, and I thought, why don't people know about this? So that started me on that journey.
Right, people think of it as just a destination place, a place for a honeymoon, but it's a place with rich history as well. So give us is there any kind of snippets to the book you want to tease us about? Tell us a little bit about the book that we can...
Well, I think basically it's 1886. It is that period that Mr. didn't talk about. It talks about the Royal Hawaiians and this wonderful, beautiful kingdom that they created, and then how American missionaries' descendants in the 19th century decided they knew better how to rule, and they were going to take over this kingdom. And it has a lot of intrigue and turmoil, but accurate history. And the reason I actually wrote the book was because the example of the last queen. When her back was against the wall and she knew she would lose the kingdom, she made some very profound choices to preserve that spirit of aloha in her people and in her islands. So she was a marvelous example of how to transcend the battle and do something that will endure through time.
Wow, wow. It sounds like a fantastic read, and you got a long summer ahead of you, so it's a nice big book. You can take it to the pool with you. Tell us, do you have a book signing coming up at all?
I had a book signing in Austin. I'm going on, but I do have a website if people want to, you know, have a look at it. It's www.gaellenquinn.com. And they're welcome to go there and see more of what events are coming up.
Okay, wonderful. And go pick it up at any bookstore, right?
Any bookstore, Amazon.com,
Good for you.
wherever.
Congratulations. That's amazing. A lot of work into this, and I'm sure it's going to be a great read. The Last Aloha, go pick it up. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
We really appreciate that.
All right.